You open your eyes. Before you've even sat up, your brain has already made a decision. Today is going to be hard. You haven't checked your phone yet. You haven't spoken to a single person, but somehow you already know. Except you don't. What you're feeling isn't a prediction, it's a malfunction, and it happens to you almost every single morning. Think about the last time you woke up with a knot in your stomach. Maybe it was a deadline or an argument you hadn't finished. It felt like certainty. By 10 in the morning, that dread had faded. The day turned out fine, or at least survivable. So where did it come from? And why did it disappear so fast? Part of your brain hasn't finished waking up yet, even though the rest of you has. Neuroscientists call it sleep inertia. Researcher Kenneth Wright found this fog can linger close to an hour. Your prefrontal cortex, the part that reasons and calms your emotions, runs at a fraction of its normal capacity, while older, faster, more emotional parts of your brain are already fully online. In some of Wright's studies, people woken suddenly performed worse on simple reasoning tasks than people who'd been awake for hours. You don't feel this from the inside. You just feel like yourself, a slightly slower, slightly darker version of yourself, without realizing anything is different at all. At the same time, your body is flooding itself with a chemical signal, whether you need it or not. Researcher Clemens Kirschbaum found that cortisol, your body's main stress hormone, surges automatically within the first half hour after waking in almost everyone. Not because something is wrong, just because you're awake. It shows up in calm, well-rested people just as reliably as anxious ones. It's a built-in alarm, and it goes off whether or not there's a fire. So a stress hormone is rising, your threat detection system is alert, and the calm part of your brain that would normally talk you down hasn't clocked in yet. Of course, the first thought feels heavy. Why would evolution build something this cruel? Because for most of human history, waking up was the most dangerous moment of the day. Your ancestors slept exposed, with no locked doors. The seam between sleep and alertness was when they were most vulnerable, body still lying down, senses not yet calibrated. A brain that woke up already scanning for threats survived more often than one that woke up calm. That wiring never left. Your amygdala still can't tell the difference between a lion and a Monday. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman spent decades studying how badly people predict their own future feelings, something he called affective forecasting. Alongside colleagues like Timothy Wilson, he found we consistently overestimate dread and how long it lasts. Researchers call it the impact bias, and it shows up almost everywhere, from job interviews to spilled coffee before a meeting. People predict lasting misery. Most feel fine within hours, sometimes within minutes. So the version of today your brain shows you at dawn isn't the day you'll actually live. It's a worst-case guess, made before your rational mind is even awake. Ever notice how different the same problem feels at 7 a.m. versus 2 p.m.? That's not the problem changing. That's your brain finishing its boot sequence. The dread is real. What isn't real is the story attached to it, the assumption that this feeling is accurate information about how the day will unfold. Psychologist Rick Hansen has shown these alarm signals fade within the hour. Once cortisol settles and your prefrontal cortex catches up, the wave passes. It almost always does. You don't have to argue with it. You just have to wait it out the same way you'd wait for fog to lift off a road you already know. So tomorrow, when doom arrives before breakfast, ask yourself one question. Is this information, or is this just biology? You open your eyes. Your brain has already made a decision, but this time, you know something it doesn't. That decision isn't a prediction. It's an echo from a world that no longer exists, and it will pass long before the day is decided.